Now look, that's the funny part. So this is our friends from that generated us 4 minutes 8 seconds first into 4. Let me remind you. Well, first 4 XX in Taylor because XXA, and that's also why twice, because XXA there are 4x, but also as now it's becomes a little bit more apparent why it was not 19. First of all, because so that you didn't run after us telling that it was birthday of another person. First of all, because of it, but as well because this is, if we excluding, yeah, that's the 63 that you exactly attributed to that person. Well, here I demonstratively threw away his birthday 2 times in a row, which actually would be the first letter of my surname, and instead took the first letter from name of my wife after it's transformed to a way that is required for XXA, and I obtained 4x. But as well, about that person and about throwing away our surname Swifts. 63, that's 6318, not Swift. Well, still Swift, but I removed that surname from there to obtain that number. And not Swift, what's Swift? Well, 32, 42, because of SW. 19 plus 23, and if it's not Swift, because I removed it from there, and that's why I 2 times, so as well 2 times in a row generated 48 as for x6 in T instead of 19 for S. This is 142, which is 58, and 58 after 58, just exactly like soundtrack of Quake. No, it's not even 84. This is exactly that pair of numbers there. 84 would be a reduction. So those guys, our friends, they repaired a laptop from the defects that actually wasn't there at all just a few months ago. Well, before I started living in the previous place where I was. But then laptop stopped turning on, and without reason. So they repaired it, not even a screen. And yeah, so they called me in 12:52. I don't know why 12:52. I don't fucking care. Yeah, but I didn't take phone, and then I called back at 1:01, and so that there's very nervous girl who now all the time tries to turn off the phone, tries to end call as fast as possible, talking to you in a tone as that she, that's like in this place, like when they're asking me, why you are not leaving, why you are not leaving, fuck, why you are working, I mean, why hotel works. So you're asking me why I'm not leaving, I'm asking you why hotel works. Like, for what? What's the goal of your life then? So basically a very big amount of demands to a client, well, such type of person. So she wanted to end call as fast as possible, but I held her to 43rd second for the very simple reason that those bastards, so that's the effect, that's that problem that wasn't even present there just before the previous place. And yeah, so they say I need to pay 1,600 in the local currency. And we all understand that 106,000 in the local currency with that transformation, which rises 00 into the 66, would be 1666, which is, so they are threatening my wife. After I apparently said them that we are, actually willing to use, look, she will use, she has no fucking choice, the toy against, 58, right, against any target that will be necessary. But she can't kill me, but basically that's, yeah, she can't kill me, but she has all other restrictions that are imposed on her by my orders and by my restrictions for her. Yeah, so she can really strike any point. And the sense here is that so they decided to take 1,600 units of local currency for 1666, which is bad for my wife. For the fact that wasn't even present actually before something strange happened. And why I generated 43? Because if we take 50,000 people and then multiply it by 5 to calculate amount of blood in their bodies in liters. And liter is a very common unit of measure of liquids, because we are using it all the time. At least here, but actually, actually it's just very convenient and very widespread, and this is something that Ukraine and Russia can understand, and US as well, because and that also refers one word that I used once, right? Yeah. Well, honey, that will be much, I know that she can hear me. That will be much more than even this amount, as you can see. Especially if we take into account foreign dollars, then that just can be compared. But look, then in such a calculation, exactly at the point that she encircled with in the middle, this is 250,000 of liters of blood, which is under this transformation, provides us with number 256666, which in pairs provides us with number 157, which is, if we assign meaning no to 57, provides us negation of no, which means yes, and this is 43. Or on another hand, 43 for Taylor White, or on another hand, second 9/11. Or just reminders that we are in 2023, that, as I promised, much cooler years than the previous one, and it started with release of 250,000 liters of blood, which are becoming years exactly under that transformation. Becoming exactly 43. Whereas, they are saying is that using that transformation for that goal will be deadly for my wife with that 1666. And fuck, that's quite a lot actually for, such defect actually. well, shouldn't have appeared at all, but then I expected that it will be repaired, well, for 500, 600. But instead, they are demanding 1,600, which, well, I will have to pay them that amount, but this is a lot for such type of service. And the only reason why they set such price is because they wanted to threaten my wife, who well, who sees it, who hears it, and who can, well, strike any point on that planet and delivering another 250,000 liters of blood, releasing them at any moment of time. And they are saying me, they think that if they set me like big price tag that transforms into 1666, well, and and when she said that price, so I decided to make her talk for 43 seconds. Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that we are using that transformation, but this is pretty much characterizes everything. So they think about them, and so that you realized what that 43 stands for, because, well, who knows, that was called from the number that has no money, that one has money. So that you realize that 43 here stands not for second 9/11, for example, because there is such a thing, well, there is such notion. I added here, well, I called her back exactly at 1:01, well, PM, that was AM by local time, but still this is 101. As time of tweet "You Got Baby" from my wife Taylor Swift, after which, well, shortly in few hours, events happened that exactly released, well, with that time mark that she created, with in the middle 250,000 liters of blood, which are, well, and that number turns into 43 under that transformation, that under which their press tag turns into the number that is, well, potentially deadly for my wife. So, and so that you didn't say that this is another 43, I put it here at 101. And, well, and that composition together, well, right after I said about 58, maybe serves as a sort of a message to many people around the world, including in US, but actually to everybody. So that's such story. You see, this is I mean, that they, yeah, they really. Well, I guess that's how they revenged us for for that 58 that I created using them in the previous time. I guess they were not, well, somebody who interacts with them wasn't happy, and well, do you know why I didn't take a laptop from them? For a very simple reason. Well, no, and that's, well, that's actually what my wife suggested as well, because, well, they already well, at some particular point they started to behave inadequately, and, well, they started to repair it, then they behaved inadequately. Well, you know the story. And then I was like, okay, well, I will take that laptop from you, and then and then I will go in another repairman service, and they will tell me that you did there something unbelievable, and they can't now repair that laptop at all. But I will not be even able to, well, well, to get anything back from you, to make you pay for what you did, because will just tell me that process of repairment was stopped by my decision, and well, they very hysterically tried to put me back in my hands, but I said that no, well guys, you started, you need to bring it to the end. But then they eventually set, to be honest, inadequate price tag for that type of defect that never even was, well, I don't even know how it could happen. But still, and that's the fun part, that, well, they are saying, so they set such price that transforms into 1666 under that transformation, and I'm like, okay, I'll call you back at 101. Yeah, that's the thing. Well, maybe you need to listen to it again, and maybe to think about it a little bit carefully. So I'm calling them at 101 and making that nervous girl, to whom the whole fucking world, well, in debt, to, well, owes her something, not to, well, turn off the phone and call in, like, I don't know, 20 seconds or something that she wanted, but exactly at 43 seconds. Yeah, and she ended the call. And the irony here is that with that's 43, which is 157, is being obtained from 250,000 of liters of blood that were released shortly after a tweet of my wife that was at 1:01 a.m., not p.m. So such story.